The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ensures that the national government is ready to help local government units in responding to Super Typhoon Mawar.
Another suspect in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Dogamo recants from his previous testimonies.
The Department of Migrant Workers reveals that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has already allocated the budget to pay off the unpaid wages of overseas Filipino workers since 2015.
And find out how the United States responded as Russia moves ahead with the plan to deploy tactical nuclear weapons to its ally Belarus.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, May 26, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Maria Latoza.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Giona Privado.
First in the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said that the local government units should lead in responding to Super Typhoon Mawar and assured them that the national government would be ready to assist. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. instructed local government units or LGUs to prepare for potential rains and floods that Super Typhoon Mawar could unleash. PBBM said the national government is always ready to help and is in constant communication and coordination with the LGUs, most especially in times of emergencies and natural disasters.
We are in constant contact with them also to find out kung ano yung kailangan nila, ano yung nangyari doon sa lugar nila, and then with that way, we will be able to respond properly.
According to President Marcos, the government has been preparing for the onslaught of Mawar. They have adopted a different strategy as the typhoon is expected to pull the southwest monsoon, which could result in heavy rain even in Visayas and Mindanao.
However, there is a difference dito sa bagyong ito dahil although dadaan lang north of the Philippines, apparently hihilain niya yung habagat para there is a chance na magkakaroon ng malakas na ulan pati hanggang hindi lang Southern Luzon, Visayas, pati baka Mindanao pati.
The chief executive discussed with Defense Officer in Charge Carlito Galvez the pre-positioning of funds, food packs, and response teams. According to the latest data from the Budget Department, the government still has approximately 18.3 billion pesos in the Calamity Fund, including 1.5 billion carried over from the previous year's budget, which can be utilized for various disaster relief operations until the end of 2023. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Quezon City local government unit announced that they were all set for the possible impact of the typhoon in the city. According to Quezon City Vice Mayor Gian Soto, evacuation centers were all ready and the deployment of disaster risk reduction and management officers was in place. He added that the relief goods were also prepared to provide for the victims of the typhoon. The QC LGU is now monitoring the trajectory of the Super Typhoon Mawar.
We're making sure na nakaprepare po lahat, lalo na po yung mga sa evacuation centers. Salamat sa Diyos, we are prepared, we have enough, and we're just really monitoring po right now yung kung saan pupunta yung bagyo.
The Philippine Port Authority has reported that some ships have already canceled their voyages in preparation for the possible impact of Typhoon or Super Typhoon Mawar. Tonight, Super Typhoon Mawar is expected to enter the Philippines' area of responsibility. The scheduled travel of LCT Poseidon 17 and LCT Poseidon 35 from Padre Burgos, Southern Leyte to Lipata, Surigao have been disrupted this afternoon. CCAT 1 Grand Ferries to Cebu and Calbayog are also suspended. Cebu travel to Calbayog is cancelled effective tomorrow at 2 p.m. and Calbayog to Cebu is cancelled at 8 p.m. on Sundays. The Philippine Port Authority is preparing its personnel in more than 120 ports in the country, particularly those that will be directly affected in the northern part of Luzon.
Payo natin sa ating mga kababayan, mag-ingat po tayo dahil malakas po itong super typhoon. Sa katunayan, ngayon pa lang po may mga nagkansela na po ng biyahe dahil medyo malakas na rin po yung hangin po at madilim na po sa kanilang mga pantalan. Tayo po ay mag-ingat at lagi pong mag-check po ng social media pages po ng PPA para po updated.
The Philippine Coast Guard or PCG main office is ready to deploy personnel to augment in the areas that are likely to be hit by the super typhoon Mawar. Dante Amento has the story.
Philippine Coast Guard or PCG spokesperson Rear Admiral Armand Balilu said their units and assets are now ready to respond for the possible onslaught of super typhoon Mawar in the country. These include the deployable response groups or DRGs and quick response teams or QRTs.
Mga deployable response group, mga search and rescue teams ay ilagay natin sa high state of readiness.
The PCG is particularly monitoring the Cordillera Administrative Region and Ilocos Region, which are expected to be hardly hit by the typhoon. Balilu added their personnel at the headquarters are also ready to augment in those areas if necessary.
Sapat naman po sa kasalukuyan yung mga assets na pinadala natin doon sa area. Pero naka-standby po ang mga tauhan natin dito sa headquarters para kung sakaling manghingi ng augmentation ay mabilis tayong makakapag-mobilize at makakapag-assist doon sa mga puwersa natin.
The PCG is likewise monitoring the possible effect of the southwest monsoon or habagat in other parts of the country.
Ang forecast ng pag-asa, bagamat pataas yung barko, ay baka enhance nito yung habagat at mag-uulan ng malakas at magkaroon ng mga pagbaha. Kaya tayo ay hindi nagpapakampante na hindi pagandain yung mga units natin sa ibang areas maliban po sa Northern Luzon.
The PCG is continuously coordinating with the local government units or LGUs for possible assistance. Meanwhile, the agency reminds the public to be responsible, take precautionary measures, and always monitor weather updates. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Super Typhoon Mawar may enter the Philippine area of responsibility tonight or early tomorrow morning. As of 3 p.m., the cyclone was located at 1,725 km east of Central Luzon. It is packing maximum sustained winds of 215 km per hour and gustiness of up to 265 km per hour. The typhoon is currently moving westward at a speed of 25 km per hour. According to State Weather Bureau Pag-asa, more rainfall is expected from Sunday to Tuesday. Mawar is expected to weaken as it moves closer to the extreme northern part of Luzon and may be downgraded to a typhoon category. However, signal number 3 may be raised over Batanes and nearby islands. The cyclone is expected to intensify the southwest monsoon, which will bring heavy rainfall to most parts of the country, including Metro Manila.
Ito pong bagyong si Mawar or si Betty, ang pinakamalapit niya po na landmass o probinsya po dito sa atin ay yung Batanes, Babuyan Islands, pati na rin po itong Cagayan or mainland Cagayan. So posible po tayo dito magtaas ng tropical cyclone wind signal number 3 sa may Batanes, Babuyan Islands.
Nakikita natin sa ngayon na by next week, ito na yung posibleng magdeklara tayo ng onset ng rainy season.
Joven Javier, another suspect in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Digamo, recanted from his previous statements. Javier's lawyer, attorney Danny Villanueva, said that his client now denied he was among those who planned the assassination of Governor Digamo. Villanueva added his client was forced to admit his participation in the crime without a counsel.
Ang pinakaunan na binabawi o tinatalikuran ni Ginoong Javier, yung ginawa niyang di umano'y pag-amin na siya ay kasama sa 2 beses na pagtatangka sa buhay ni Gobernadora Digamo as early as 2022 daw.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice said they will wait for Javier's reincantation and to find out that what are the allegations in his reincantation.
And for news abroad, Elon Musk's neurotechnology company Neuralink has received approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, to launch its first in-human brain implant clinical study. Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk in 2016, aims to assist paralyzed individuals in regaining mobility and provide rehabilitation for other neurological conditions. Previous studies have been conducted on animals, and Neuralink has been the subject of multiple investigations by the U.S. District Attorney's Inspector General Office regarding potential violations of the Animal Welfare Act. On Thursday, the company tweeted that recruitment for the clinical in-human trial has not yet opened and further announcements will be made. Meanwhile, the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne has developed and implanted a brain-spine interface that establishes a direct neurological connection between the brain and the spinal cord. The research findings published on Wednesday in the journal Nature outline the success story of a 40-year-old paralyzed man who, after participating in the study, is able to walk approximately 100 meters on average. We'll share more global stories with you later.
For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Some supermarkets were inspected by the Department of Trade and Industry to ensure the proper implementation of the suggested retail price. During the inspections, the DTI discovered weight reductions among the products at one particular store, resulting in the issuance of a notice to explain. Bernadette Dinoy will tell us why.
The Department of Trade and Industry is conducting inspections on different supermarkets in Quezon City to ensure the proper implementation of the suggested retail price. According to DTI Undersecretary Attorney Ruth Castello, these inspections also serve as preparation for the agency in managing the prices of products amidst the potential impact of Super Typhoon Mawar.
Meron expected na kalamidad na dadating itong weekend. So, chinek natin yung mga stores kung talagang tama ba sa suggested retail price ang benta nila ng mga basic necessities and prime commodities natin.
She added that a notice to explain was issued to one store as milk and coffee products were found to have lower gram weight than usual, but were still being sold at the same price. The agency stated that the store must provide an explanation within 24 hours or face penalties of up to 150,000 pesos for violating price regulations.
Yung weight difference, binaba nila, pero hindi nila binaba yung presyo. Kasi pag lumiit yung volume, diba, dapat mas mababa ang presyo.
Meanwhile, it is anticipated that some unscrupulous individuals may hoard products before the calamity and sell them at higher prices afterward.
Of course, hindi natin maiwasan yung mga unscrupulous, bibili ng madami bago magkalamidad, tapos ibebenta ng mas mahal pagkatapos ng kalamidad. So meron ding mga ganyan. That's why ang advice natin sa consumers, doon lang tayo sa mga legitimate stores.
To provide assurance to consumers, the agency has introduced the e-Presyo app, which enables consumers to verify if products adhere to standard procedures. Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said the government will continue to talk and negotiate with the Kuwaiti officials on its decision to no longer issue new visas to Filipinos who want to work in the Middle Eastern country. The president said that there are around 800 overseas Filipino workers who failed to enter Kuwait due to the new deployment ban. PBBM added that his administration does not want to burn any bridges, saying that when the situation improves in the future, the Philippines can again deploy OFWs to Kuwait.
I think the proper reaction is to take the decision of the Kuwaiti government to no longer issue new visas. Wala tayong magagawa. It's their country. Those are their rules. So we will just leave that issue open, and hopefully we will continue to negotiate with them.
The Department of Migrant Workers has revealed that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has already allocated the budget to pay off the unpaid wages of overseas Filipino workers in KSA since 2015. Meanwhile, the KSA government has requested additional time to ensure that the processing of claims will be conducted in a legal and orderly manner. Janice and Hanta will tell us why.
After 8 years of waiting, all the unpaid wages of approximately 10,000 displaced overseas Filipino workers or OFW who worked in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia since 2015 will soon be paid, according to the Department of Migrant Workers or DMW. DMW Secretary Susan Ople stated that the KSA government has collaborated with its Ministry of Finance to process the funds for claims and other benefits of the affected OFWs from the 9 companies that declared bankruptcy.
Minister Al-Raji gave us the good news that the funds to pay for the unpaid claims are now with the Ministry of Finance. Ang mahalaga, yung buong amount na kailangan para i-cover lahat ng unpaid claims, nakalagak na sa kanilang Ministry of Finance. And may clear instructions na sa central government na ayusin yung proseso para matapos na, matuldukan na itong issue ng mga unpaid claims.
Although the KSA did not disclose the specific amount allocated for these funds, DMW believes that it is sufficient to pay all the affected OFWs.
We no longer inquired about the amount, but what is clear is it is there and it is sufficient to pay not just the claims of the unpaid workers natin, but all the other claims, including those of their own people.
Hindi na po natin aalamin kung sino at yung sino po ang hindi kayang mabayaran. No? Lahat po nung involved, no? There are 9 default companies na sinabi po nila. Yung identity po nung 9 hindi po nila binanggit. But in the coming days, malalaman po natin yon. At lahat po noong ating workers na nag-antay na mahigit 10,000 workers ay makakatanggap po ng full payment.
Meanwhile, Secretary Ople mentioned that the KSA government has requested additional time to ensure that the process of releasing the claims will be conducted in a legal and orderly manner.
They said that by next month, which is June, they may be able to give us more details, or kung di man June, at least in the coming months. But that this is a firm commitment.
Ople stated that the KSA government has established a default company committee which includes delegates from the Philippine government to discuss the implementation details of releasing the funds. She also added that the Ministry of Employment of Saudi Arabia will be traveling to Manila to work on the claims payment process. Janice and Hente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Russia has proceeded with its plan to deploy tactical nuclear weapons to its ally Belarus, which has confirmed the move and stated that the warheads may already be in the country. Mavian Gog explains why.
The signed deal between Russia and its ally to deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus has already begun, making the first deployment of such weapons outside of Russia in years. Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko, who was attending talks with other leaders of ex-Soviet states in Moscow, confirmed that the warheads are on their way to Belarus, a move that was denounced by the United States Department. However, Washington stated that it had no intention of altering its position on strategic nuclear weapons. Russia's defense minister blamed the collective West for waging an undeclared war against Russia and claimed that the West was doing everything possible to prolong and escalate the armed conflict in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly warned that the Kremlin possesses more nuclear weapons than any other country and will use all means necessary to defend itself. The U.S. believes that Moscow has 2,000 tactical nuclear warheads, which are utilized for tactical gains and intended to destroy enemy troops. Furthermore, Washington also stated that it had not observed any signs indicating that Russia was preparing to use a nuclear weapon. Mavian Dog, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
With the Ukraine war ongoing, the European Commission is seeking to reduce its dependence on China and has been engaging in discussions with Australia and Kenya for potential partnerships. According to Valdis Dombrovskis, the European Trade Commissioner, they are in the final stages of discussions for free trade agreements with Australia and Kenya, expecting to wrap up the negotiations within a few months. Furthermore, the European Union or EU executives are also aiming to enhance their accessibility to lithium and copper, and they are in the process of approving an agreement with Chile. However, past trade agreements have faced obstacles due to environmental concerns. Despite this, a few trade ministers have shown strong support for the agreement with Australia, indicating a positive reception. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
The OCTA research group has observed a slight decrease in the 7-day COVID-19 positivity rate in the National Capital Region. According to OCTA research group's data, the positivity rate has increased from 26% on May 17 to 23.7% this week. However, during the same period, hospital occupancy in the NCR has increased. It has risen from 28.1% last week to 28.6% this week. On the other hand, ICU occupancy has shown a slight decrease from 24.5% to 23%. Despite the increase in COVID-19 cases in the country, the Department of Health has emphasized that the positivity rate should not be solely used to gauge the COVID-19 situation in the Philippines. The DOH assured that the public that there is no need to panic as the country's healthcare system is still intact.
34 vape products were confiscated by the Department of Trade and Industry in a store in Quezon City. Meanwhile, the Quezon City local government unit is intensifying measures to regulate the use of vape in the city. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
The Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, confiscated 34 vape products in a store in Quezon City. According to DTI Undersecretary Attorney Ruth Castello, they issued a show-cause order and notice of violation to the store as they were selling vape products near schools and a kids' amusement center.
We confiscated these products dahil dun sa violation nila under the Vape Law, Republic Act 11900, that it cannot be sold within 100 meters from school, church, any area that is frequented by minors.
DTI added that the store would be penalized an amount of 10,000 pesos for the first offense, and both the manufacturer and retailer would be held liable. The store manager said they would comply with the agency's regulations.
Ngayon din lang po namin nalaman, and then na-advise si DTI na ganun po pala yung rules. We will na lang po, aris to our head office na lang po regarding this matter, and syempre susunod na lang din tayo.
Meanwhile, the Quezon City local government unit reiterates the negative effects of using vape products on one's health, especially for children. The LGU is intensifying its measures to regulate the use of vape in the city.
It's bad for the health, number one. Number two, we have a lot of people who are easily influenced. Lalo mga bata, kaya bawal sa mga eskwelahan. We have a measure regulating the use of vape sa Quezon City. And simula pa noong 2019 namin pinastong resolution na to.
Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God from the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 25. It says, "The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer." And those are the reasons behind the news, May 26, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Gianna Pravado, live from London, United Kingdom.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Mariela Toza, live from Perth, Australia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.